Imagine telling someone from 30 years ago that a stable home, a family vacation, emergency savings, affordable housing, and financial peace of mind would one day feel like luxury items. They would probably laugh. But today, millions of people work harder than ever and still feel like they're falling behind. So what happened? When did normal life become a luxury?
For most of history, luxury meant something rare and exclusive. It meant mansions, yachts, designer brands, and extravagant lifestyles. Today, many people describe emergency savings, affordable housing, and financial stability as luxuries. That shift should make us stop and think. Many people aren't asking for extraordinary wealth. They simply want a comfortable life, stable income, manageable expenses, and enough savings to handle emergencies. Yet for millions, even those basic goals feel increasingly difficult to achieve.
What's most surprising is that many people are earning more money than previous generations did. Yet, despite higher incomes, they often report feeling less financially secure and more stressed about the future. The problem isn't just about income. It's about the growing gap between expectations and reality. People were told that working hard would create stability, but for many, that promise feels harder to reach than ever before. Let's start with housing. For many people, owning a home was once considered a realistic life milestone. Today, millions spend years saving for a down payment, while home prices seem to rise faster than their ability to catch up. Even renting has become increasingly expensive in many places. A growing share of income goes toward housing, leaving less money available for savings, investments, travel, education, and future goals. Emergency savings were once considered basic financial responsibility. Today, many households struggle to build even a few months of financial protection because rising expenses consume nearly every paycheck. A family vacation used to be an expected reward for a year of hard work. Today, transportation, hotels, food, and entertainment costs can make even a simple trip feel financially overwhelming. What's happening isn't always obvious because the changes occurred gradually. Year after year, costs increased a little, expectations adjusted a little, until one day, many people realized that ordinary goals no longer felt ordinary. Now think about something even more basic than housing: food. Every family needs groceries, yet many people have noticed a strange pattern. Their shopping carts look similar to years ago, but the total at checkout feels dramatically higher. Healthcare is another area where normal life can suddenly become expensive. A routine checkup, prescription, or unexpected medical issue can create significant financial pressure for families without strong financial protection. For many households, grocery shopping has become a constant exercise in trade-offs. People compare prices, switch brands, skip favorite items, and search for discounts simply to stay within budget. Transportation was once viewed as a practical necessity. Today, fuel costs, maintenance expenses, insurance payments, and vehicle prices can consume a large portion of monthly income. Individually, these expenses may not seem shocking, but together they create a powerful financial squeeze. Housing, groceries, healthcare, transportation, and utilities slowly absorb more of the income people once used to build better futures. Many people assume that higher incomes automatically lead to better lives. On the surface, today's workers often earn more money than workers from previous decades, but income alone doesn't tell the full story. What matters is how much that income can actually buy. This is where many people experience frustration. They work longer hours, earn promotions, and increase their income, yet still feel like they are running in place financially. Progress feels slower than expected. Previous generations often measured success through milestones like buying a home, raising a family, building savings, and retiring comfortably. Today, many people are delaying those milestones because reaching them requires more time and financial resources. Social media can make this situation feel even worse. People constantly see images of luxury lifestyles, expensive vacations, and apparent success, creating the impression that everyone else is moving ahead. The result is a growing sense of financial pressure. Many people aren't chasing extreme wealth, they're simply trying to achieve what previous generations considered normal, yet those goals increasingly feel out of reach. What's surprising is that this transformation didn't happen overnight. There was no single moment when ordinary life suddenly became expensive. Instead, countless small changes accumulated year after year until the difference became impossible to ignore. One hidden change is that many modern expenses simply didn't exist in the same way before. Today, people often pay for internet services, streaming subscriptions, smartphones, software, digital tools, and countless recurring monthly charges. Another factor is the growing expectation of convenience. Food delivery, ride-sharing, instant shipping, and on-demand services save time, but they also add costs that quietly accumulate over months and years. At the same time, many people feel pressure to maintain certain lifestyles. Society constantly promotes bigger homes, newer cars, better gadgets, and more expensive experiences, making contentment harder to achieve. The combination of rising costs, new expenses, social pressure, and changing expectations creates a powerful illusion. Many people think they're failing financially, when in reality, the financial environment itself has changed dramatically. Financial pressure affects more than bank accounts. It affects how people think, plan, and feel about the future. When basic goals seem harder to reach, even small financial setbacks can feel much larger than they once did. Many people live in a constant state of calculation. They compare prices, track expenses, delay purchases, and worry about unexpected costs. Over time, this mental burden becomes exhausting, even for financially responsible individuals. When people spend years postponing goals, frustration often replaces excitement. Dreams that once felt achievable begin to feel uncertain. The future starts looking less like a destination and more like a moving target. This pressure affects relationships too. Financial stress is one of the most common sources of tension in families because money influences decisions about housing, education, healthcare, and long-term planning. Perhaps the most damaging effect is the feeling that no matter how hard you try, it's never enough. That feeling can discourage people from saving, investing, or pursuing goals that once inspired them. Here's an important truth. Understanding the problem is the first step toward dealing with it. Many people blame themselves for financial struggles without realizing that larger economic changes have reshaped the environment around them. When people understand how financial systems change, they stop measuring success only by comparison. Instead of asking why others appear ahead, they begin focusing on what they can control directly. Financial resilience often matters more than financial appearance. A person with savings, low debt, and flexibility may be in a stronger position than someone with a more impressive lifestyle but fragile finances. Small financial habits may seem insignificant, but over years they create powerful results. Consistent saving, avoiding unnecessary debt, and making thoughtful decisions can help people adapt even when conditions are difficult. The goal isn't to recreate the past. Every generation faces different challenges. The goal is to understand today's reality clearly, so you can make better decisions within the world as it actually exists. For many people, success was defined by a script they inherited: get a stable job, buy a home, save money, raise a family, and retire comfortably. The challenge is that the world has changed, but many expectations have remained exactly the same. When reality doesn't match expectations, frustration grows. People often feel they are failing even when they are working hard and making responsible choices. the gap between expectation and reality becomes emotionally exhausting. Redefining success doesn't mean lowering standards. It means understanding that financial stability, flexibility, and peace of mind may be more valuable than constantly chasing appearances or unrealistic comparisons. Many financially successful people focus less on looking successful and more on creating options. Options provide freedom. Freedom provides security, and security often creates a stronger foundation than status ever could. Perhaps the biggest lesson is this: if normal life feels more difficult today, that doesn't automatically mean you're doing something wrong. Sometimes the environment changes, and success requires adapting to those changes. Take a moment and think about what people truly want. Most aren't asking for private jets, mansions, or extreme wealth. They want a safe home, financial stability, healthcare, opportunities for their children, and a future that feels secure. The surprising reality is that these ordinary goals now feel extraordinary to many people. What was once considered basic financial stability is increasingly viewed as an achievement worth celebrating. This doesn't mean hope is lost. History shows that economic conditions constantly change. Challenges come and go, opportunities appear in unexpected places. The future is rarely a straight line. However, understanding the reality of the situation is important. Pretending nothing has changed makes adaptation difficult. Recognizing change allows people to respond intelligently instead of emotionally. The people who navigate difficult times most successfully are often not the luckiest. They are the ones who understand the environment, adjust their plans, and remain focused on long-term goals. When you understand why normal life feels more expensive, you stop blaming yourself for every challenge. Instead, you begin identifying which problems belong to you and which are part of a larger economic picture. That perspective is powerful because it transforms frustration into awareness. Awareness doesn't solve every problem, but it often leads to better decisions, healthier expectations, and greater resilience. Perhaps the real question isn't when normal life became a luxury. Perhaps the better question is how we can build stability, purpose, and financial security in a world that keeps changing. The answer will be different for every person, but it begins with understanding reality, making intentional decisions, and focusing on progress rather than perfection. So, when did normal life become a luxury? The answer isn't a single date or event. It happened gradually, through countless changes that reshaped the world around us. Understanding those changes may be one of the most important financial skills you can develop. If this video changed how you see the world, subscribe and join us for the next journey.